Who really calls the shots in Sacramento in the state legislature? A new report sheds light, but also tries to hide the dirty secret. Plus, the liberal media in California says you cannot use the word invasion when talking about the open border. That makes you a white supremacist. All that and more coming up. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California, and in just a moment, I'm going to get to the report out from Cal Matters, where they purport to say, here are the groups that are most effective in getting their way with the California state legislature. In other words, who calls the shots? But they really are trying to hide what's going on there. But first, I want to respond to criticism that liberal taxpayer-funded KPBS in San Diego leveled against me and others who have raised concerns about the uncontrolled flow of illegal immigrants at the border. See, KPBS, again, liberal taxpayer-funded media outlet, apparently says that if you use the word invasion to describe what's going on at the border, that inherently makes you a white supremacist. Now, you know why they're doing this, right? They're trying to silence anyone talking about the true crisis at the border. And they say, well, if you use this one word, you know what that means. It means that you believe all these other garbage things. Again, these people are, these KPBS reporters and their liberal ilk in this corrupt industry, they're liars. They're narrative drivers. They are hardcore leftist partisans, and they don't want to secure the border, and they certainly don't want to provide unbiased, fact-based news to the people. And that's, again, who they say they are serving. Some would even consider it consumer fraud to say that you're a news organization when, in fact, you're a partisan organization. But let me share with you the news clip. Now, you know my position on the border. I think it's completely out of control. There is a massive flood. Some would say invasion. I have called it an invasion. I think the word fits, of illegal immigrants coming across the border because Joe Biden has opened the door and Gavin Newsom and California Democrats have rolled out the red carpet with all sorts of welfare benefits. I believe we need to change that. I believe it is a crisis. I believe that, getting 2 million to 3 million illegal immigrants into this country each and every year without fail is absolutely unsustainable, that it is an invasion. It is an epic flow. And so here, and by the way, the terror watch list suspects, come on, 370 some in Biden's administration, the first 3 years of Biden's administration, compared to a little over a dozen during the entirety of all 4 years of Donald Trump. I would consider terror watch suspects coming into this country to be an invasion in the amount of 100, or even with Newsom, with Biden, 370 plus. I would absolutely consider military-aged men where we don't know their identification or their criminal backgrounds flowing through the border, 1 million, maybe 2 million per year. I would consider that an invasion when they're not coming here lawfully. They're not being invited here. We don't know who they are. They haven't been vetted. I would consider that a very risky proposition and invasion of foreigners into our country. Again, I am not anti-immigrant. I'm all for sound immigration policy. We are a welcoming country. We welcome 1 million people plus every year legally through a properly vetted system, but apparently that's not enough. Anyway, so here is KPBS trying to smear me for using the word invasion.
Reporter Gustavo Solis says political rhetoric around immigration is getting more extreme.
Breaking news on the border crisis. There right now is an invasion going on in Southern California.
That is State Assembly candidate Carl DeMaio in February, describing the situation at the border. And here is El Cajon Mayor and congressional candidate Bill Wells a month later doing the same thing.
What's happening at our southern border is not just a crisis, it's an invasion.
They're not alone. Politicians, particularly Republicans, are using the word invasion more and more to describe immigration, and it will likely continue to ramp up as we head into the next election.
No. It's not ramping up as we head into the next election. It ramps up when there is an invasion at the border, you asshat. You lying POS. We use the word invasion because it's an apt, proper, accurate description of what is actually happening at the border. But no, see where he's going with this?
We are not going to let these people come in and take our city away from us and take our country away from us. It's not going to happen.
Experts say that has a big consequence.
And we've identified over 165 members of Congress in their official capacity have engaged in invasion or other replacement theory type rhetoric.
That is Zachary Mueller. He's a senior research director at America's Voice, a pro-immigration advocacy organization.
A pro-immigration advocacy organization. I'm pro-immigrant. I just established that. Legal immigration. No problem with legal immigration. No, America's Voice is a leftist open borders organization, but KPBS doesn't want to properly describe them. No. They're pro-immigrant. They're nonpartisan, nonprofit. They're the experts. They are a partisan left-wing narrative-driving organization, just like KPBS, actually.
And I think that's really telling and really concerning.
Why he is so concerned is because it comes right out of white supremacy ideology.
The language of invasion is...
There you go. It's all white supremacy. If you want to close the border gaps, if you want to have border security, if you don't want 2.5 million people coming in every year illegally or more, if you don't want terror watch suspects to come into this country, if you don't think that welfare benefits at taxpayer expense should be just given out to illegal immigrants willy-nilly, if you are for any common sense policy at the border, you are a white supremacist. See what they're trying to do? They're trying to smear an entire group of people that represents 70% of the American people. 70% of the American people think that our border is in crisis. 70% want to have an orderly, secure border. But not KPBS. They want to call all that white supremacy. They want to smear Americans, and they want to silence people like me who are willing to stand up and fight for border security. Well, I say, go to hell. Go to hell, KPBS. We should cut your funding, and no one should be trusting any crap that's being put out from you. Is it an invasion? Yes. You want to use a different word? By all means. But of course, you won't use a different word because you don't even want to cover the realities and the facts of what's happening at the southern border. We're not going to tolerate this. We're going to call it out. When you go out with your fake news coverage and you try to silence us with your smears, we will push back. We will not be silent. And we will continue to lead on the issues that 70% of Californians and the American people want us to lead on. All right, enough of that garbage. Cal Matters, another liberal taxpayer-funded media outfit in California, is out with a story that they say analyzes who has the real influence in Sacramento. Well, let me just cut to the chase and give you the full outcome. Labor unions and the far left call the shots in Sacramento, and you shouldn't be surprised because Democrats have a super mega majority. And they're going to, do whatever they want for their rabid far left base. I mean, that's not a surprise. But what is surprising is Cal Matters tries to soften it or hide it. So they say, find out which lobbying groups get their way most often in the California legislature. So they've got this database. Let me scroll down to the database and zoom in a bit here. Which organization that files as a lobbyist got most of what it wanted? And so they look at how many bills they lobbied on, because under the reports, you have to disclose which bills you talk about. And then what was the outcome of the bills? Were they passed? Were they defeated? What was the position of the organization? So what they say is which organizations are having the most influence? Well, again, the headline should be left-wing and labor union organizations call the shots, but they hide it. So here are the top 10. Los Angeles County District Attorney. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's right. That's George Gascon. The George Soros, don't prosecute criminals. Yeah, I would consider him a leftist. Public Advocates. Who's that? I wonder who Public Advocates is. Well, here's their website. They are a left-wing social justice organization. They want government subsidized housing. They want socialized housing. And of course, they're all about promoting liberal Democrat politicians. Quality education. We're fighting in the courts. We're fighting in Sacramento. It goes on all through the issues of rent control, and you take a look at the board of directors. Again, leftists, full rotten collection of far lefties. League of Women Voters, again, a left-wing organization. Faculty Association of Community Colleges, a labor union. California Housing Partnership, again, socialized housing group. Los Angeles School District, yep, a government agency controlled by Democrats entirely. Los Angeles County, yep, Department of Education, same thing, Democrat group, controlled 100% by Democrats. American Association of University Women, a labor union. County of Los Angeles, yep, only one Republican on that entire board. California Teamsters Union. But then you go to the next page and look at how many percentages. I mean, they're getting their batting averages, 70%, more than 2/3 of their bills are going the right way. California Democrat Party, 71% success rate. Public defender. Hell, they don't even have a district attorney putting criminals behind bars. So they're even worse than the district attorney up there. Then you get to AARP. I would argue, kind of left-leaning, but not necessarily full tilt. California Federation of Teachers. San Francisco City and County. Oh, yeah, that's not left-wing. California Teachers Association. The Baker Center for Human Rights. Left-wing. Association of School Boards. Left-wing. Equality California. Girl. Left-wing. And then ACLU. Left-wing. I mean, it goes on and on and on. You don't see a balance here. Oh, okay, the doctors. The first quasi-business oriented group, 21. So again, what should the headline be? Not, I wonder who gets the influence. It should be left-wing groups and labor unions call the shots. Not a surprise, but again, Cal Matters can't report on the story. Look, at Reform California, we think you should call the shots in the state legislature, which means that we have to break the supermajority and restore balance. But we can't do that alone. We recruit, endorse, train, and support candidates all the way from state legislature all the way down to school board. But we need your help to do it. Sign up on our website to get our voter guide in the upcoming election. It's only a few months away. We need you to sign up so that you get the voter guide, the plain English voter guide with all the description of the ballot measures and all the endorsements for candidates all the way down to water board, school board, all the way up to the federal and state legislature race. Also, chip in a contribution. We cannot do this work alone. It costs a lot of money to put the voter guide together and to get it into the hands of voters through mail, ads, and other deployments door to door. Help us with this revolution to take back the state. Go to that website, reformcalifornia.org, reformcalifornia.org. Sign up and contribute today. Until next time, Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and smash that notification button so you can stay up to date on all the developments in California news and politics. Also, please visit the website, reformcalifornia.org, for ongoing news coverage and to join one of our campaigns in the fight to take back our state. If you can, please sign up as a volunteer or chip in a contribution. This episode of Reform California with Carl DeMaio, paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly 2024.